And Danielle is muted.
Oopsie.
Sorry.
Cool. So I'll repeat myself. So welcome to the June's office hours. I think we could start with a short introduction round, just to make sure that everyone knows each other. Krish, why won't you start? What, you're on mute. So I'll tell quickly that how we do it usually. Then after you introduce yourself, you name someone else, and then we kind of go on around like that.
Okay, awesome. So I'm currently an intern working on generating sysext for Flatcar Linux to extend the system. And I'm a student at the University of Rochester studying computer science. And I'll pass it on to Kai.
Hello, I'm Kai, part of the Flatcar team since the early days, and I pass over to Dongsu.
Hi, I'm also part of the Flatcar team and currently working on UERS, the update to run an engine written in Rust with William. That's it. Next is Sayan.
Hello, I'm Sayan. I'm from the Flatcar team. I primarily look into the releases and primarily these days looking into the getting NVIDIA tested on Flatcar. Handing over to Matthew.
Hi, I'm also in the Flatcar team working on testing the operating system, cluster API, and related stuff. Marius?
Hello, I'm Marius Suprin. I'm from Cloud-Based Solutions. We offer Flatcar support. Next, Thilo.
Hi, I'm Thilo. I'm a Flatcar maintainer, and my day job is managing the team at Microsoft that also has Flatcar maintainers in here. And William, right? We didn't have you yet.
Yeah. So hey, I'm William, coming to you from Rotterdam, the Netherlands. I'm also on the Flatcar team at Microsoft, currently working on the Rust re-implementation of Update Engine with Dongsu. Is everyone gone? I guess we're set.
Okay, so I'll go. I'm Danielle, also from the Flatcar team, PM. And I guess we could start with the agenda item. So I won't share the screen because it's quite short. So the first one is exciting news about latest developments with Flatcar. Oh my God, my screen just turned off. So Kai, I'll get it to you. I don't know what happened. It turned black.
And Kai used the opportunity and froze.
Yeah, I always have to reconnect.
I think you're on mute.
I can hear and see Kai.
I'm sharing the screen.
But like the screen's back.
So
can't hear you.
I will show you. I hope you can see the screen now. There's a small tiny window here. And I have this connection to a Azure VM. So here there's nothing really on it. It's just a fresh deployment of a image we built from the main branch of Flatcar. So it's not yet released, but I will show you. But we will land in the next alpha. So it would be somewhere next week when we release it. And so what is this about? We have our base image that is like plain Flatcar, what you can run on your local machine with Chemo and so on. And then we have the cloud environments, and sometimes they need special tools. And these tools are not well suited to be always on the base OS, on the /USR partition. That's why we have another partition called the OEM partition, or the vendor tool partition, so to say. And we now have moved the mount for this partition to /OEM, and before that it was /user share OEM. That's now a symlink where you also land on the same folder. And normally what you have in there is this grub config file, which is used to set up some, for example, serial console variables and so on needed for the environment. And we also have this OEM release file. It just contains like the OEM ID and the name and so on. That's what you actually see up here in this login message. And in the past, we had a set of binaries and base ignition files that are processed from ignition on first boot, and then these binaries either stay on the OEM partition and are used from there, or they are also config files which are then copied over to the root partition into a /etc because they contain some services that are set up and so on. And we have scattered files, and these were never updated again after you provisioned your instance. And we want to change that. We want to update the OEM tools, and that's why now everything is contained in one file system image that is mounted as overlay mount on top of /usr. And what we use there is a upstream feature from systemd. It's called systemd/sysext. And you can see this now here on this new image built from the development branch. We have a sysext image that is extending /usr. So system extension, because you can directly run the binary from /usr now through this overlay fs. So for example, there's this WA agent part of Azure, and we can see, okay, it looks like it comes from /usr, but it's actually not there normally on the base image. It's an extension. So it's combined from the base image and this sysext file system image that we can see here in the subfolder. Here we have this OEM Azure initial raw file, and that's a squashfs image containing this extension directory structure that is overlaid on /usr. And so, for example, I already said there's this WA agent thing, and that's actually written in Python, and that's why we also have a Python round now, and normally you don't have it on Flatcar. So that's also a new thing here. And it's just for Azure as of now, because it's our MVP to get it out for the first release next week, and later on we will also migrate the other OEM software to also use this setup. And what was mentioned, this UERS, and is a new project that should be used with Update Engine, or later maybe replace Update Engine, to not only update our base image, but also these extension images. So here, as I said, we have this 26 megabytes squashfs image, and it means, we have everything in there. We can replace it with a new version, and then you have new OEM tools. And all this will be integrated into the AB boot. So currently it's -initial because it's not updated, but you will see this later being versioned. So there's a version corresponding to your active /usr partition, and then there will be one corresponding to the inactive partition, and these are selected at boot time. So much about this. Any questions? Okay.
Cool. So I don't know if my computer audio is working. I have some issues.
It works.
Okay, cool.
Loud and clear.
Right. So next it goes to Thilo. Some updates about KCD Munich.
Right. We've been pushing a little for Flatcar evangelism this year, and we applied to quite a few conferences. One of those is KCD Munich, where we will have two presentations. The first is a more general presentation on the basic concepts of Flatcar and the immediate future of the project, which mainly entails sysext as we've seen demoed right now, and may also hint into the direction of updatable extensions and even composable images. So the basic concept of sysext doesn't just apply to OEM support. You can basically build any stack on top of the image-based Linux distro with that, and we're very eager to use that freedom in the future. There's another talk, a lightning talk, that Mathieu will be doing on the cluster API OpenStack provider, if I recall correctly.
Yes, with a Flatcar demo. How to deploy
Yay!
Flatcar with cluster API on OpenStack.
Very nice. Awesome. All right.
Yeah, just to precise, it's the 17th and the 18th of July, the KCD Munich.
Correct. Yes. And it's in Munich, as the name suggests. That's correct. So I'm not sure if William wants to give a brief lookout, because eyes are on the update engine extension that we're calling it currently an extension, UERS, which will allow us to update the sysext.
I can speak a little bit about it. So the long and short is that Update Engine, which handles the updates for Flatcar, is a pretty there's a lot of heritage in that code base, shall we say. It dates back to Google Chromium OS a decade plus back. And when it comes to shipping the systemd sysext updates, the choice was either to modify Update Engine to be able to handle that, or to kind of start looking to re-implementing parts of it. And that, long and short, is what UERS is, which is effectively a re-implementation of some small parts so far of Update Engine for the purposes of adding client-side filtering of additional non-Flatcar update images, and it's gradually, growing and becoming capable, just kind of in general. The plan is that it's going to take over from Update Engine after Update Engine has done all of the Flatcar updates, and is going to be just kind of like using the same XML file and just pulling the sysext updates that it needs. Longer term, not really sure yet. Update Engine is a component that, even though I'm the maintainer of it right now, there's not, like, I don't want to touch it because everything's just kind of working fine. So we'll see. There's been some rumbling about whether UERS will eventually grow in scope and grow in responsibility, but for the time being, it's basically going to be the last step of the post-install script that Update Engine currently calls, and will handle the sysext updating. I think that's all I've got to say about it right now. Oh yeah, and we're writing it in Rust if the RS part wasn't clear about that.
All right, checking if there's any questions in the channel somewhere, different channels. Didn't see any. Right, so the next goes to Sean. We're just going over the release planning.
Sorry for the loop, probably. Yeah. Is my screen visible? I should
Yes.
zoom in a bit.
Visible, but it's pretty small. Can you zoom in?
Yeah.
You have a huge screen.
Is it good now?
It's better for me. How's it for you, folks?
Okay, I need to check. Yeah, good. So yeah, quickly moving on. So we earlier planned a release for this week, but we are changing a bit of our cadence. So and we probably will do the next release. So the next release for alpha, beta, stable, and LTS would happen in on June 19th. This is because we are planning to move to a cadence where we do the releases on the first and the third week of the month, and so that it does not overlap with the meetings that we have, that is the office hours and the developer sync. So moving on, so we are so the items that are on priority is one is that Kai pointed out that there's some issue with the OEM stuff, so he is looking into it. And the other thing is issue we were facing with the Equinix Metal servers on ARM. So that was something that got merged in the kernel upstream. So we would like merge it with the next release. Other than that, I mean, I was looking through the need triage one. I will ask folks to look through them once after the meeting, but overall it looks good. So I will invite you all to look through them once. I am planning to move them to backlog. Most of them are something that folks have already attended to, and I think we can definitely move them to the backlog section. Coming to the next part, which is the in progress, we have definitely a lot of items getting worked on. One of them is like the release getting prepared for the next one. So we'll have a major alpha and my patch release, beta, stable, and LTS. And with that, like we will probably focus on, there are a couple of items that are getting worked on. I am definitely sure that we can get this update in a couple of sysap packages. And I'm not sure if how is the package update looking. So I'll coordinate with Kashmir on that and see how things are looking. A request here is, folks, if you have some time, I see I was going through the in progress one. So if you can set some time around to look through those issues and provide some update for the issues which are long standing, not been updated for a long time, just put an update on how things are progressing there. If not, like I'm planning to ping you folks probably like in a week or two to get an update before our next developer sync meeting. And for the next release, we have two packages merged. We have planned for a Docker update and other packages, but they are currently in works, but they are definitely up for grabs. So if you folks are looking to contribute or like have some free cycles to work on, definitely would recommend picking up a package and doing the upgrade for this releases. Yeah, that's mostly from my side for the release. Anything else folks you want to add? I think that's a no. I'll then hand over to Daniel.
Right. So actually, we don't have any more items on the agenda. So just opening up for comments, questions, or I didn't see anything into any of the channels, but like correct me if I missed anything. So going once, going twice.
Maybe just a question. So, Marius, what's your involvement with Flatcar at the moment? Like, are you exploring how it works, or do we have some support cases that were interesting?
We are doing Kubernetes bare metal deployments. We are using Flatcar as our OS. We deployed successfully both on AMD 64 and ARM 64 using Cluster API and Argo CD and Tinkerbell. And we also contributed to some of the upstream projects with our patches to be able to build copy images for ARM64 for Flatcar. And we are also exploring commercial support for Flatcar containers Linux for people who seek to renew their support contract.
Interesting. So just a minor question, like what did you use on top of Tinkerbell? So what is interacting with Tinkerbell in the end?
So we use Cluster API and Argo CD and Tinkerbell for the deployment.
So
And
Tinkerbell cluster API provider, or
yes, cluster API provider for Tinkerbell.
Awesome. That is super exciting.
Any other topics that someone want to bring? Questions, comments, random facts? So I guess that concludes then the meeting for today. So see you at the release meeting, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good one.
See you.
See you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Have a nice
Ciao.
day.
ciao.
Bye.
Folks.